Hello everyone, it is the Nabila Show here with me Muftau Nabila Abdullah here on Muftau Nabila Abdullah YouTube channel. The Nabila Show, we've tagged it as your home of exclusivity, and indeed today we have shown that we are the home of exclusivity following FIFA's email to us that they have dismissed South Africa's protest. And this brings me to the conversation for the day on this channel. We had done so many episodes in relation to this matter, and it appears there is a finality. The last time we were here, we did mention that as and when FIFA is ready with their decision, we probably would be lucky to get it, and we'll bring it to you here on the Nabila Show. And today we are proud to mention that the Nabila Show broke the story worldwide that FIFA has rejected it, because I saw that the Ghana FA talked about it almost 40 to 45 minutes after we had reported it, and I'm just deducing that after the Nabila Show report, the FA went and checked their email and they got it. We reported it at 1:33 p.m. thereabout. South Africa published their story 30 to 40 minutes after we published it. So clearly, the Nabila Show will lead with this. I had mentioned in the last episode of the Nabila Show that if FIFA is very confident that this matter is frivolous and it does not merit attention, the Disciplinary Committee will throw it out. And I had said that the Ghana FA decision to ask FIFA to throw away SAFA's protest because they did not file it properly. If I were the FA, I would have said that FIFA have got the powers to investigate and all that, but I would call on them to waive those powers and not investigate the matter. I had written an email to FIFA on November 24, just a day after the Disciplinary Committee were expected to receive the protest from the FIFA Secretariat, and today the report came. The content of the FIFA email sent to the Nabila Show at 1:32 p.m. That is 13:32 GMT. The email said, and I quote, "Here is an update from FIFA on this matter." It says, the protest lodged by South Africa has been declared inadmissible by the Disciplinary Committee as it did not meet the requirements foreseen under Article 46 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code and Article 14 of the regulations of the preliminary competition of the FIFA World Cup 2022. However, this decision is subject to appeal. That was the FIFA email sent to the Nabila Show earlier today. If FIFA says that the protest was inadmissible, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm trying to read meaning into what FIFA have sent. They actually attach links for me to get access to the various documents, the various portions, and read. And just to talk about Article 46 of the Disciplinary Code of FIFA, let me open the link and we read it together. So Article 46 talks about protest. And they say that the SAFA's protest was inadmissible because it was not in conjunction with Article 46 of the Disciplinary Code. And this is what it says. Associations under their clubs are entitled to lodge protest. Protest must reach the Disciplinary Committee in writing, indicating the relevant grounds within 24 hours of the end of the match in question. The 24-hour time limit cannot be extended. For the sake of the smooth running of the competition, the corresponding competition regulations may shorten the protest deadline accordingly. And it proceeds to say that the protest is 1,000 Swiss francs. It must be paid when the protest is lodged and is reimbursed only if the protest is admitted in full. It says, a protest is admissible only if it is based on an ineligible player's participation in the match as a consequence of the player not fulfilling the conditions defined in the relevant FIFA regulations. B. An unfit field of play, as long as the referee was informed as soon as the problem was reported or observed, whether in writing before the match or orally by a team captain in the presence of the captain of the opposing team during the match. And C. An obvious error by the referee as defined in Article 9 of this code, in which case the protest may be directed only to the additional consequences of the referee's obvious errors. This is what FIFA regulation says. So first, if they say if it is inadmissible, it means that the Ghana FA comments to FIFA telling them that SAFA did not properly file their protest was seriously considered by FIFA before they arrived at this decision. Because you need to file within 24 hours. When SAFA filed their protest, they didn't even do it within the 24-hour belt. Again, they had asked FIFA that they were going to pay within 72 hours. Everything 72 hours, 72 hours. So what it meant is that before the Disciplinary Committee of FIFA, SAFA's protest was not properly put in place to demand that the Disciplinary Committee go into the matter. And I don't think the Disciplinary Committee actually went into the matter. If they did, we probably would have seen it. Let's not forget, I will mention something as I move on in relation to this matter. It has to do with FIFA not giving full verdict of how they arrived at the decision. But let's talk about the competition regulations, which is Article 14 that FIFA referred to. They said that SAFA's protest it fell short on this as well. Article 14 actually is talking about protest again. And they said, in the FIFA 2022 World Cup qualifiers, it says that for the purpose of these regulations, protests are objections of any kind related to events or matters that have a direct effect on the matches organized in the preliminary competition of the FIFA World Cup 2022, including but not limited to the state of and markings on the pitch, accessory match equipment, eligibility of players, stadium installations, and footballs. 2, under Article 14 again, it says that unless otherwise stipulated in this article, protests shall be submitted in writing to the FIFA match commissioner within 2 hours of the match in question and followed up with a full written report, including a copy of the original protest, to be sent by email to the FIFA General Secretariat within 24 hours of the end of the match. Otherwise, they shall be disregarded. And I think Article 14.2 also agrees with the Ghana FA that South Africa did not do this, because they already told the match commissioner they were going to file a protest. They didn't do that in writing 2 hours after the game. So South Africa, again, did not get it right here. And they said, point 3 of that says that protests regarding the eligibility of players selected for the matches. And this one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, clearly, I'm sure they relied on 2 to arrive at this decision that has been sent to both parties, and we are privileged to have laid our fingers on it. But one thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention again that FIFA has said that it is subject to appeal, but they have not sent in detail the communique of how they arrived at the decision. Well, South Africa can file an appeal. They can file an appeal at FIFA if that is after receiving the full verdict. I don't know if South Africa would do this. I've seen SAFA's letter that has said that the CEO said that FIFA did not send them the full verdict and they will proceed. FIFA can decide to send the full verdict or not of how they arrived at the decision. They can decide or not. It is their prerogative. But I think SAFA can only appeal based on the grounds that FIFA rejected or dismissed or described their protest as inadmissible. SAFA would require it before they can submit an appeal. If this ruling from FIFA did not say it is final, if the ruling from FIFA has said that it is final, SAFA, I think, could have proceeded to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, but they said it is subject to appeal. So what it means is that you need to exhaust all the bodies within FIFA before you can proceed to a different body to have the case heard. I don't know what SAFA would do, but I think that if they really feel that this is a matter worth investigating, they can file an appeal for that to proceed. We don't have an idea about what would happen to the referees. I think what next I would have to do is to write to FIFA and find out where they have investigated the referee. They will investigate the referee so that we'll have an idea about the fate of the referee. Reports have said that the referee has been banned. Many were saying that, oh yeah, if the referee has been banned, it means that there's substance to the allegations SAFA have made. FIFA says it is inadmissible. So we just need to find out what becomes of the referee. It will be quite hypocritical if the referee is sanctioned without this match being replayed. I clearly don't know what is likely to happen, but I think it will be quite hypocritical for that to happen, because if the referee is sanctioned, if it is going to be for poor decision making, well, that we can say that, okay, fine, poor decision making, the referee had a bad day in the office, the referee could have accepted the penalty or not. If he had accepted, if he had refused to accept it, I'm not sure many people would have had a fuss about this. He has accepted it, has become an issue. So what is FIFA's position on that? Are they sanctioning the referee? Are they not sanctioning the referee? Let's see what happens. Until we come your way again with the Nabila Show, I am Nabila Abdullahi. Continue to subscribe, continue to share to your followers. Ask them that, have they heard of the Nabila Show or Nabila Abdullahi YouTube channel? If they say no, tell them it is a home of exclusivity. I appreciate your company. Thank you.